the Council of Governors, Ministry of Education, and Department of Children Services to organize forums at the county level so that children can come together and consult and raise issues that are affecting them, and also comment, give their recommendation on the services they are receiving. And they will be able to develop a communique for their specific governors, which they will hand over to the governors, and also 5 representatives, communicate to the National Forum. So the National Forum communique will be informed by the voices of children at the county level. Right. Yeah.
You want to add on to that?
Yes, so it will not just be about serious discussions at the conference, but we've also organized for an evening session for children, whereby children will have a relaxed atmosphere to discuss issues affecting them as children. There's a team of counselors who will come on board to address any issues that children would want to raise. We are going to have a bonfire whereby thematic issues will be discussed, ranging from sexual and reproductive health to even personal issues affecting children across the country. So ideally, this is going to be a forum that where children are going to take center stage in terms of airing issues that are affecting them during the conference, and having a one-on-one sessions with various speakers during the bonfire event. In the evenings, again, children will have various types of recreational activities, so that as they discuss serious issues affecting them, they are also going to do that with fun, discussing issues in the morning, during the day, and having various fun activities in the evenings.
Because at the end of the day, they're still children.
Yes.
It can't be too serious.
Exactly. Yes, and as they do that, of course, we integrate legal issues. They learn about Article 53 of the Constitution and their right to participation and their right to parenting, proper parenting, and all that. So we're looking forward to a very, let me say, very fun time for the children.
Yes.
And we're also looking forward to learning from them, understanding what it is, how are they feeling about where we are.
What the mind of the child
works. And how do they feel about implementation of the Constitution, for instance, in as far as Article 53 is concerned.
Okay.
How is the school implementing that? The Basic Education Act talks about ensuring that children are protected from all forms of violence. And we're looking at a situation where we've had a lot of challenges coming from schools around violence, especially sexual violence.
Yes, we will be getting some of the challenges that you have faced so far. Now, Anne did mention that there will be 5 representatives. What is the criteria of selecting these 5 representatives? Because these are children from different counties. Every county will be represented at this conference, yeah?
Yes.
I could start with you as we move on.
Thank you.
Process in choosing these representatives.
Thank you, Jane. Now, we settled for children who've already demonstrated leadership skills or leadership capabilities. So we'll be picking boy-girl primary, boy-girl secondary, and a child with disabilities. Okay. And then we'll bring in 3 chaperones to look after them. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And you want to add on to that?
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah. And something beautiful about the participation this time round, during their county forums, actually children will be given an opportunity, of course, under the supervision of the adults, to pick their own representatives.
Because from the school itself?
Yeah, okay, we are riding on the already existing children governance structures. Okay. We have the Kenya Children Assembly. This is an organ for children that meets, every year. And they discuss, matters that affect them, and they are given an opportunity actually to influence decisions, that affect their lives at the school level and also at the county level. Yeah, so when this forum happens, children will actually get a chance to elect those who will represent them.
All right.
Yeah.
Probably just to emphasize what Anne raised, the aspect of children's participation, we want to probably promote children's meaningful participation. And so as opposed to just appointing children or even bringing children from the counties, we would want to provide children an opportunity at county level to discuss issues affecting children at their county amongst themselves, and send the children that will represent them to the conference, sent them with those issues, so that as children represent the rest of the children in the county, they have already interacted with the children and they are meaningfully presenting those issues at the conference. So it's about meaningful child participation.
But is this 5 really an adequate enough number, given that it's 5 children from every county? We have 47 counties. And you can't pick, there's so many schools in every county, but you have to get only 5 from every county. Is that enough a number so that this child, what they learn here at this conference, they can go impart the knowledge on the others who that they are representing? Maybe Anne, you could take that.
Yeah. Yes, Jane, true. 5 is a small number, and you know, we would love, you know, for as many children as possible to participate, but to be able to address that gap, that is why we are organizing the county forums, so that as many children as possible can participate and put together their issues and their recommendations. Then they send those issues and recommendations with the 5. Yes.
So this 5 is just spokespersons.
They're just representatives.
All right. So there are already those meetings and forums that have happened in the schools that they have aired their issues and presented to the 5 that will be going.
Exactly.
Now, for Eunice, you mentioned that this, they did mention that these are students who will be in leadership positions. You find that yes, they are in leadership positions, but they may also be having their own personal challenges, be it psychological, emotional, health-wise, and yet they are here being sent with all the problems of all the other children. Now, how do you facilitate an environment healthy enough for this child to be able to express what they feel while still remembering what all these other children have, you know, sent them with?
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that, like I mentioned before, we are going to have the conference during the day, but in the evenings we are going to have sessions where children will interact with even mental health experts. Children presenting with various issues. The mental health experts are going to be available during the day and in the evenings, and so they will be there handy to address any issues that children may present. They'll be available for one-on-one interaction with the children, and that is bearing in mind the fact that these children, much as they are leaders, much as they are courageous and strong in everything, they could be having their own personal issues that would prevent them from exploiting their potential to the fullest. And so we are going to have sessions, one-on-one sessions between the children and mental health experts. We are also going to have sessions where children interact with each other. We know it's quite therapeutic for children to play, to get to make new friends and everything. So we are cognizant of that gap, that need, and so there will be there are opportunities available to address any psychosocial or emotional issues that are affecting children. There will be question and answer sessions during the evenings, and so all that will be addressed during the conference.
Yes.
Yeah, and then just to add something little to that, Dr. talked about the 3 chaperones. Chaperones are actually trained and they are able to interact with the children and listen to the children and address their issues. So the 3 chaperones will actually be accompanying the children, you know, all through.
Yes. And these 3 chaperones, are they from the schools themselves? the counties?
Yes, they are from the counties. They are teachers.
They're teachers.
Oh, they're teachers.
Exactly.
Now, at the conference, will there be professionals who are able to, you know, as they interact with the children, some will be able to recognize some of the issues that these children have, you know, basing on, you know, the bills and rights of children and entitlements, because you might be a head boy or a head girl, but you're abused, maybe at home, maybe at school. Will there be such professionals?
Yes, like Eunice has said,
Yeah.
we're going to have counselors on board, and many of the people will be there, including the chaperones.
Yeah.
They have some basic training on telltales of abused children. And like Anne has said, it is possible that even as a children leader can be, a child leader can be abused.
Yeah.
They can be abused before they became, they can have been
Where they
abused
are
before
right
they
now,
became
yeah.
leaders, or even during. But then this creates an opportunity. The conference gives us a free space for communication, and with the experts on board, with the experts working with the children throughout the day, within those days of the conference, it will be possible. And we're also looking at possibilities of creating special, like, drop boxes where a child can, if I'm very aggrieved about something or I have a concern that is deeply personal, you can drop it there.
All right.
But we believe that whatever we have organized will give opportunity for each and every child to effectively participate.
All right. Eunice?
Yes, I would also want to add that officials from the Department of Children's Services will be available. These are also child protection experts. As we know, the Department of Children's Services is mandated to oversee child protection. And so the officials from the department will be available. As the counselors address mental health issues of children, they'll be able to also address issues regarding referral for various child protection issues. So they'll be available to make sure that when a child wants to know where to go, when what protection issue happens to them, they'll be handy to provide that clarification on the referral mechanisms for child protection.
All right. Now, among these discussions that are going to be taking place, you find that, yes, they're children, but sexual education is very important, especially for this category, between 10 and under 18. Sexual violence and how to, you know, detect it and how to, you know, recognize it and talk about it. Is there such an environment that they can comfortably talk about these issues, and what, to what extent will they be taught about their sexualities and, you know, understanding their sexuality?
Yeah, Eunice talked about the bonfire that will be held in the evenings. So it will be a free space, a safe and free space for children, and they will be categorized as per their age groups. And we'll have both female mentors and male mentors to talk to them. But the key thing here is to give children an opportunity to really bring out issues that affect them, pertaining to their sexuality, pertaining to their, you know, matters child protection, and you know, bring them out in a safe space, yeah, for discussions.
What about the whole question of bullying in schools? Maybe we could hear from you, Dr.
Thank you. Yes. The space that is provided is for everything, all the issues that challenge children in schools. It is true there are concerns about bullying, but this space will give the children an opportunity to say everything they want to say about what they feel about school, what are the things that happen in school that, you know, create discomfort, et cetera, et cetera. And then the leaders or the organizers, the team leaders will be looking at, you know, providing answers to the children. But more importantly is the question of teaching children life skills, self-awareness, self-esteem, and all these, because they feed into the bullying ecosystem. Yes.
Yes.
I would really attribute some of these practices like bullying to poor or inadequate parenting care. And so issues that will be discussed there will emphasize the role of the parent, specifically in the upbringing of their child. The new culture of being so busy to the point that you don't have time for your child largely contributes to the state of affairs in terms of bullying and even the school fires and everything. This kind of not so good culture of banning schools and all that. And so the emphasis will be really not more on the child's responsibility, but on the responsibility of the parent. We have, for a very long time, put the children on the dock in terms of the behaviors that are being presented lately and in the recent past in schools and everything. But again, we may want to also make a call to the parents to be more responsive, to be more caring, and to avail themselves to their children. Bullies have a story.
Yes.
Usually it's not just what is presenting, but it's what is underlying, what the underlying factors behind a child not treating other children well. So we may want to explore the underlying factors, and for me, I have a very strong conviction that parents are not really doing what they ought to do in the lives of their children. They have not taken their role as parents seriously. And so much as we talk about bullying and focus on the bully, we may also want to focus on the upbringing of this bully and how present has the parent been in the life of this child.
And while we're talking about bullying,
Yes.
it'll also be important to think about the perspective of the bully, the perspective of the one who is being bullied, and what is it that a child who is being bullied can do? What is it that a child who has bullying tendencies ought to do? Yeah. And particularly, there's the thing about conspiracy of silence. Many of those who get bullied don't bring it out in good time. So they get bullied, and you know, attention has not been paid to some of the extreme forms of bullying. Like the other day, a child was telling me they were bullied in sexual assault, you know, girls' school. Sexual assault, girl to girl.
What age is this?
This is 14.
Wow, that's Form 2.
Form 1.
Form 1, Form 2 there.
Form 1. This is monolization in quotes. And traditionally, we just look at beating as bullying.
Yeah.
But there are these other forms that have emerged that we haven't been paying attention to, or we haven't given much thought to. And maybe it is
turning
turning blind eye. The child said, my parents aren't willing to transfer me from the school, and I have spoken to them to transfer me, but I haven't told them the reason, because the child is embarrassed about talking about sexual assault.
They don't have that comfortable environment to ask such issues.
Yeah, yes, that's the challenge. Yes,
is.
And like Eunice was saying, when parents are not able to communicate with their children, when parents are shy about issues, when parents don't open the space for children to communicate, then the only thing that the child does is to retreat to themselves. And we know the results can be lethal.
And that's just how bullies are made, because you know, they say hurting people hurts others.
Yes.
Well, you something just before we go for a quick break?
Yeah. I just wanted to add that actually the spirit of the conference is to enhance participation of children in all settings. And now that the issue of bullying has come in, you know, during the day, children will have sessions with technical experts from both, you know, national government, county government, and also partners. And one of the sessions is actually focusing on education, early childhood development, and education at primary school level and secondary school levels. So definitely they will be encouraged to raise issues. Do they have a safe and protective learning environment? And how, you know, what are their recommendations, you know, towards us, you know, creating and ensuring that they are safe in schools? and the learning environment is stimulating.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, do the children have a safe and conducive environment to air their views as they learn and as they become whole human beings? We will be continuing with the discussion after this commercial break. We will be having Catherine Kimotho joining us. She is a child protection specialist working with the UNICEF Kenya after this commercial break. So do not go anywhere. This is Good Morning Kenya.